That's what we do.
Reseal. Let's go. Let's go.
I told y'all.
Shout out to Bird B.
Pay attention.
Por favor, abróchense cinturones.
Vos tenés las mejores piernas del equipo. Tenés que caminar por los demás.
What's going on, YouTube? We back in the Low Key Cave, Keyshawn Nimes YouTube page, aka Mr. Low Key. We back with another movie review. This time we have Society of the Snow. I had no idea about this story. I had no idea this was based on a true story. I had no idea about this movie. I didn't know anything about this. So going into this Netflix wise, the fact that I didn't even know this was this was going to be a foreign film and you was going to have to read the subtitles. Didn't matter. I watch Narcos. I love Narcos. I read subtitles. I don't care. If the movie good, I'm with it. But going into this, I didn't know anything. So that definitely made the experience a lot more better, but also more of a dread because, oh my gosh, man. But this is based on a true story of a rugby team that was 45 people on a plane on their way to Chile, but the plane ends up crashing, and at the end of it, only 16 people survive. And once again, me not knowing anything about this story, I didn't even know people had actually survived this. And apologies, I probably shouldn't even say that in case people haven't seen this yet, and you go in like just with fresh eyes and just you don't go in knowing anything like I did. And I'm telling you, the experience I think is way better that way. But yeah, man, going into this and watching everything unfold, seeing all these people pretty much endure their families before they getting on this plane, and I mean from that point you do know what's coming. I mean from that, because I said I seen the trailer, somewhat of the trailer, so I do know it was going to be a plane crash. But like I said, I didn't know anything about the true story and all of that. I'm thinking we just getting a movie about a plane crash or whatever. But just watching everybody embrace their families and everything, and you know what's coming, it did make it a little bit more of a dread. Because once again, it's a build-up because I didn't know if any of these people was going to survive this. So once we get everything initially starting after we get introduced to our characters or whatever, and like I said, just seeing everybody with their families and everything, we initially get to the plane. And I'm going to tell you right now, with all the plane crash movies I've seen, whether it's a movie like Gray, which just kind of remind me of the Gray with Liam Neeson in the Wolves movie, the Yellow Jackets, you know, the TV show about a plane crash and some similarities with things they are doing in here. Any other movie I've seen with a plane crash, I don't feel like none of them have been filmed this way. Give or take, this is 1972, so you know everything that's going on with the plane, technology-wise, seats and all of that. They probably don't have the best of the best being into the 70s, but still, just the way the plane crash is filmed, that shit is crazy. I've never, once again, seen a plane crash go down the way this went down, the way they went into detail, the way they showed the way people's bodies are impaled and stuff like that. It is crazy. This is a movie where you turn your head a couple times. And this scene right here at the beginning, I'm definitely turning my head. I'm telling you. I've never seen the way they filmed this, showing you everything, not turning the camera right, showing people like the way the plane crash and you getting the inside basic look of what happens when a plane crash and seeing the way the human body, like I'm telling you, this was a crazy scene and the way it was filmed. Oh my goodness, man. So that right there just already is diving you head first into this movie and getting you engaged. I'm just sitting there just, what the fuck, man, I cannot believe this is happening in front of me right now. Like, I'm in this plane with them. But outside of that, just after the plane crash, just seeing the way this group has to pretty much come together with the terms of them being in an isolated place, middle of nowhere, and more so them trying to come up with ways to survive and knowing people are going to be looking for them. So when it really gets to that situation, man, and them just trying to embrace nature and all of that, that's when things really, really just kind of get crazy. Yeah, get crazy. because we started to go into certain elements once it comes to a realization that people have stopped looking for them. This is like 10 days later, you're running out of resources, food, water, like all those type of things that they would need to survive. So and once they started to get into other aspects as far as cannibalism, once again, everything based on true story, based on true facts, I was wondering, or I was thinking, this is about to go that whole route. Like, the movies we have seen where people in these type of situations, yellow jackets, like I said, and the whole thing with them turning on each other because they want to eat each other, this and the third, but it never went that route. I couldn't believe, once again, I've never seen a movie like this as far as involving whether it's a plane crash and the way they filmed that or cannibalism, and they not going the route as far as them turning on each other or going into some straight horror shit. It never got like that. They go to the route of desperation, and people pretty much trying to embrace the fact that if we don't do this, we will not survive. Protein and all of that. And they not eating each other while they're alive. It's more so of a thing once people have passed away. And you have those dilemmas. You had those questions that not only the people are asking themselves in the movie, but the audience got to ask themselves, if you are in this situation, what would you do? Would you go this far? Or would you have no choice? Once you get to a point of desperation where you are hungry, so hungry to the point, there's nothing left. Like, there are scenes where they are starting to eat their shoestrings and shit before they even get to the whole cannibalism thing because of the desperation and the circumstances that they are in. Like I said, any other movie, I'm thinking this shit is about to go left. I'm just waiting. I'm like, oh, they about to start turning each other or whatever. But it's about survival and the way they are trying to embrace each other and push each other to survive. And even outside of just the cannibalism part, once again, they're dealing with nature. They're in a place where it's just completely covered in snow. We're talking avalanches, shit like that. And once again, I'm sitting there looking at this like, no way, they're not coming out of this. We're going to get a point where nobody survived. We're going to get this thing at the end. But to see them keep on going and enduring the narration in this, man, which I ain't going to say it's going to throw you off, but it's coming from a point of view where you're thinking this is somebody who makes it out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to get that away. But I will say the way they did it, it's just a dread, man, because it makes you embrace not only the characters, but this particular character too, even more. And that's another thing. We're dealing with so many characters. There's a lot of people in this movie. Like I said, there's 16 people that survived, but before that 16 go away, I think it's like 20, maybe more of them that's still actually alive outside of what happens with the circumstances, the conditions, and just the plane crash, the injuries, and all of that. People end up passing away. But with everybody that they have in here, like I said, with so many characters, they are able to concentrate on everybody. Nobody gets outshined or anything like that. We are embraced and endured with everybody as far as these survivors. And that's one thing I enjoyed. It's a long-ass movie, too. It's a long movie. Once again, though, it never really took me out of it because I was just anxious to see what is going to happen with these people. Like, it got to a point, once again, every time where I was thinking, oh, this is the end. This is it. They done. This is going to show where they ended up dying. And once again, having that drive, what would you do in these circumstances? People who are pushed and saying, no, this is not it. We are going to survive. And seeing that people actually made it, you had survivors, I was like, damn. Clap, clap. But yeah, man, I actually had to go back, and it made me, once again, watching these type of movies and them being as good as they are, it makes you go look up the actual survivors, the real history, and just hearing the type of things that they actually had to do, how much the movie is actually based off the actual events and things they went through. The cannibalism thing, that's what really caught me, and I'm saying, yo, they didn't make it look horrific either. They didn't make it a situation where they was like, oh yeah, this is so good. It was like they was struggling so bad to even swallow anything they was trying to do as far as them having to eat people, as far as the dead. It was a struggle. And it took certain people who didn't want to do this for months to actually start to do it because they had to survive. They just got so weak at that point. And once again, the movie never does anything where it makes it seem like they celebrate cannibalism or it goes into the horror route. It is showing how desperate, just what they had no other options. That's what the movie is really showing. So it made you understand, like, damn. Once again, the shit was hard to look at. It was, cause like I said, turning head, it was, but it made you understand the conditions that they was in and the circumstances they was in, why they had to do what they had to do. And I understood it. And once again, I hadn't seen nothing like that being done, especially when it came to cannibalism and stuff like that. So yeah, man, this is definitely one that you got to check out on Netflix. Like I said, if you don't like subtitles, I mean, it is what it is. But if you don't mind that, this is definitely one you need to check out. And I would say, like I said, go into it with fresh eyes. If you don't see my review already, my bad. I definitely gave some things away if you didn't know, because once again, I didn't know what was going to happen in this. I didn't know about the cannibalism. I didn't know if people survived or not. I didn't know what they had to go through outside of the cannibalism, the conditions of the weather and all of that. Once again, man, and that ending, man, watching them do what they had to do and watching this two guys in particular and this one guy in particular, just like, I got to go. The shit that he had lost leading up until that point, everything he had lost, as far as whether it was people who it was him on a plane or just him trying to get back to certain loved ones, knowing that he was going to have to tell them certain news about the people they had lost. Like I said, that drive and watching them actually watching them survive. That was the thing. But once again, you definitely check this out. Society Doesn't Know is definitely one you should check out on Netflix, man. Other than that, make sure you hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell, let you know when I upload new videos. Other than that, we out.